is basically a 15-foot stairwell.
Okay.
All right, so one more thing that I'm checking, and well, so actually both of you also notice that that some of the rubble on the bottom in front of you, you can see that there is some blood splatter in the rubble. And you can also see that the statue that is kind of in front of you down the hall a little bit is also appears to be a little unstable as well. And this is what your special racial vision shows you. You see nothing, you see no movement, but you do hear some gibberish down the hall.
Wait, are we both elves? Just by the way.
No, I'm half orc.
Half orc.
Oh my god.
So, but the gibberish that you hear, you don't recognize what they are saying.
Is that draconic? Like, is that a language that we can make out?
You can tell that it's draconic, sort of like if you hear someone speaking Japanese or Chinese, you can tell that they're speaking Oriental, or you can understand a Russian is speaking in Russian, or a German speaking, in German. You can tell that yes, they are speaking in Draconic, but you have no clue what they're saying.
Okay, I turn over to the half orc and whisper. So what do you want to do? Do you want to get the rest of the party, or do you want to try to see what's up ahead?
Get the rest of the party. The Dragonborn said there was a dragon.
You're right. Yes, you're right.
Possibly, there's possibly a dragon. Yeah.
Maybe the Dragonborn could even figure out what they're saying. I might actually stay here and hide in that rubble and cover the entrance with my bow, and you go and get the rest of the party as quick as possible. If possible, not too loudly, but I'm guessing that's more my wish than reality. But we'll see.
Alrighty, I'm going to go get the rest of the party. Well,
all right. So the warlock appears back out of the well as you guys are kind of standing around the well. And you guys can RP it out if you want. That's your indicator there.
Rack asks the warlock what was down there.
Couple of dwarven statues, dwarf rubble, and someone speaking Draconic. At least that's what we figured.
Someone or something.
We heard the Draconic. We couldn't see anyone. So
we don't know if it was something completely out of the way. It was like I don't know what I'm getting at right now.
A couple of you speak Draconic. Rack and Warner, you both speak Draconic.
Did we manage to figure out whether those were kobold voices? I mean, the dragon voice probably sounds.
Oh yeah, it was the same squeaky type of voice. So yeah, you think it's probably more kobolds.
Okay.
So I'm judging by the tone of the voice, it's more likely a kobold speaking Draconic.
Okay then.
I'm just saying, you said you heard a dragon. I'm not sure if that's going to help or not. Or they're just a scouting party for that dragon.
They seem to be worshipping a dragon.
No, they're definitely worshipping a dragon, that's for sure.
Hopefully it's just worshipping and not really serving under one.
So, you coming down or not?
Of course.
Yep.
Let's go.
Don't slip.
This is awesome. I love this part.
Is there any light sources down there, or do we need? Does somebody need light?
So.
All right, so
there's not many light sources.
Yeah, it's complete darkness down there. So the human, which is Rack, you have absolutely no light. I believe the Dragonborn does not get anything either. So, but I know the dwarf gets low light vision, so the dwarf is fine. So I'm adding some light to you that only you can see.
Okay.
All right. So now we have Zantag. You as a halfling, you do not have any vision bonus either, so you are pretty much screwed. And now we have the Dragonborn. You don't get anything either, do you?
What about my wolf?
Dragonborn does not get any normal light.
Yeah, the wolf doesn't either. So you have. So I'll move you down. But you guys have 2 light sources basically. Well, actually, you only have 1 because where's the elf? Move back a little bit, real quick.
Can I bust out a sunrod?
You can.
Well, I can.
You can cast light. So the cleric can give 1 light spell. So who?
I can give a light spell, yeah.
All right. So who wants the light spell? Probably.
Not yet, guys. Not yet.
All right. So you're down into the pit as well. Driston, you Sandman, you climb down as well. So you are now here also. Alright, and that is what you see in front of you, the bloody rubble that they were talking about. You can see the lots of dust, and you can hear the sounds of more, possibly kobolds. Alright, so who did you put the light on before you descended down into the well? Or did you?
We decided not to do that.
Okay, well, I'm going to put you guys down into the darkness, and you guys can... Damn it, this is really, really, really frustrating.
So am I going to have to break out the sunrod or no?
You can break out the sunrod right now if you want.
No, don't do it yet. Don't do it yet.
Okay.
I want to scout ahead for a moment.
Alright, so yes, 3 of you are in complete darkness. You cannot see anything, so don't freak out. I don't have any light turned on you yet. The other guys, the elf, the half-orc, and the cleric, you guys can see, and the light that you can see is only for you.
Okay, I would like to try to move ahead to that rebel thing and hide there and sort of try to see whether I can see something more than I'm seeing right now.
Okay, and that's you, right, Aaron? You're playing Fëanor, so...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Let's see. You can go ahead and do a stealth check for me, please.
Does my wolf lose those temporary hit points?
Everybody, yep, all temporary hit points are lost at the end of combat.
24.
Alright, so you are... it's pure darkness, and you're able to move around. Actually, everybody is, if they want to.
I'd like to move to here and look around a little from here.
Okay, now one thing about every one of my 4th edition or Essentials games never takes advantage of arcane checks or nature checks to determine the lore of a creature. So if you guys want to know the lore of kobolds, you guys can make a successful check, and depending on how successful your check is, I'll give you information about the kobold. But I always tell my games this, and nobody ever... I think out of all my games, I think twice they've wanted lore about creatures. So I think they wanted lore about the Beholder, and I think that was it, just the Beholder. But if you want to know the lore of kobolds, you're more than welcome to know the lore of kobolds.
Yeah, what kind of check?
Give me a nature check.
I do not have a bonus in that, so it will just be 1d20.
But can you
Yes,
just
sir.
use Arcana as well?
Nope. Nature. They're not a magical creature.
Ah, so magical creature,
So what do I get
arcane,
from that?
non-magical nature.
There's different checks. So I mean, some require arcane, some require history, some would require nature. So that's all right. So let's see. Who all rolled actually?
I did.
My 15 is a stealth check coming down the ladders.
Okay.
Yeah, my 20. So
I rolled
my
an
24.
11.
So you guys are all blasting me with rolls all at once, so it gets me confused. Alright, hold on. Of course. Alright, so let's see. Alright, so the Kobold lore. Who had what number? And tell me, so I'm
I
looking
rolled
in the
an
book.
11.
I'm not looking at the screen.
I rolled
You're-
an 11.
Okay, you're not able to determine anything about the kobolds. You just know they're small reptilian creatures. Anyone else have
Can I
a?
try again or no?
You can only try once.
13.
Sandman, same with you.
I can do it.
You know that they worship dragons, seeing that you are a cleric.
That's a nature check, is it?
It is a nature check. Yep. Same thing with Warner. Same thing with you. You're not able to determine. All right, Alex, you're playing what character?
The rogue.
Okay, you're playing. Sorry about that. I'm looking at
That's fine.
names and character sheets. All right, you're able to determine that the kobolds often dwell near a dragon's lair, maintaining a safe distance, but bringing sacrificial offerings to their god. Most dragons ignore kobolds, as a crocodile ignores the birds that pick its teeth clean. Once in a great while, however, a young dragon takes an interest in its kobold cult, which then becomes a real menace to the dragon's enemies. You know that the kobolds are skilled at making traps, and they also use which they use to capture prey and to acquire sacrifices for their dragon lords. You are also able to remember that kobolds can see in the darkness as well. Hence, that's probably why it's pitch black in here.
Oh joy.
What sort of check would I need to check that stone rebel thing that I'm standing on for traps?
That would be a perception check.
Can I do that?
Sure, you can. Well, actually, this is the way I do. This is something that I haven't talked to you guys yet, but how I do the rogue checks for traps and everything, sure. If you go up to a door and you declare that you're checking for a trap, that's fine. But to eliminate 300 rolls every time you take a step, you're checking for traps, I do a passive roll. You guys can't see it, only I can see it.
Okay.
And if you are adjacent or to whatever I have to, however much distance that I have to detect the trap in front of you or to the side, or if somebody else is close, so if you're in range, you'll be able to determine. So if anybody, it's just not for you, anybody, I do a passive perception roll. So if you are coming up to a spiked pit, then I'll do a passive roll. If you make the check, if you make the DC roll, which the DC is the target number that I set, I'll tell you about the trap. Sometimes I may tell you in a tell. Sometimes I will, just tell you flat out. If you fail the roll, I don't say anything. You just walk right into the trap. I spring the trap on you. The trap attacks you.
Yeah, that sounds fair.
But yeah, I mean, if I was to say, okay, give me a perception check, I've already ruined the element of surprise.
No, you're right. I'm doing it the same way in my campaigns.
Yeah. Even though, I just, and you can do take 10. Well, it's called taking 10 plus your skill. I don't like that system in 4th edition because it benefits people that have the high perceptions, which I see where they're coming from with it, but anybody with a wisdom, like a cleric or a rogue, is going to know everything. Every time I do a passive take 10 plus skill, they're going to be the same 2 names every time, and everybody else is going to be left out. So that's why I just roll your perception skill. So if you have an 8 in perception, that's what I roll. And then I do a 1d20 plus 8. Or if you have a 0 in perception, at least it gives everybody a chance to notice something, instead of the same people with high perceptions every time. So, yeah, there you go.
Okay.
I'm done spewing my stuff. My stoof. Alright, so I'll let you know if you get close to anything. But that's what you see. You see the statue ahead of you. It's about 30 feet in front of you. Lots of small little reptilian footprints in the dust. Lots of scrapes on the wall. Looks like they've sharpened spears, javelins. There is blood in the rubble. You don't see any bones, nothing like that. But the blood is dried. It is coagulated as well. So.
Okay, so can I make out where the voice is coming from? Like, is it coming from behind
Absolutely.
the statue or something?
It's definitely coming from that northern chamber, because you can see that this is a rectangular room. So it's basically a 40-foot by 20-foot room, except for the way that you just came in and the 20-foot corridor that's going to the north. But yes, the voices are close. So you think that they are pretty close. Those voices are close, probably in that hallway. And you can also see what looks to be tapestries that are lining the walls as well. You can barely see them, but you can make out, dragons on the tapestries, dwarves. You can see kobolds fighting. So you can also see that there are tapestries on the wall.
So just for the record, now that I know that kobolds like to use traps, I'll be extra careful when moving.
Yep, that's what you were able to remember that. So.
And also, how much light does what's that called, a sunrod? How much light does that create?
Let me look that up. I believe it's 40 feet, maybe 20 feet. Let me look it up real quick in the
Yeah, no, I'm more thinking about I'm thinking more about the intensity of the light, not so much about the area, so to speak.
Well, I think it's bright. So hold on one second. Let me look it up.
Say if kobolds were here, and their eyes adjusted to the darkness, and if I were to activate the sunrod or whatever you do to that thing, would they be temporarily blinded or something like that?
No, because it's just normal light.
Okay.
If we're going to light up the place, we could get the cleric to cast light.
No, we don't need to cast anything.
A sunrod, yes. A sunrod does do a radius of... Ooh. Yeah, this minor magic item sheds bright light to a radius of 20 squares for 4 hours before burning out.
Well,
20 squares. That is massive. So it will light up everything in here. I knew they were bright, but I didn't know they were 20 squares bright. That is pretty insane. That is pretty awesome.
I have two of them. So do you want me to bust one out or no?
I have two of them too, and think I'll use one and throw it at the statue.
They're like the green glow sticks. You just kind of snap it and shake it and then throw it. Ah!
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
It's 100 feet radius.
Yeah, that is pretty insane.
I'll get my bow ready and notch an arrow and everything, and then aim at the statue, towards the statue, and then I'll sort of turn back to the party and say, I'm going to make light, guys. Be ready. And then I'll take out, with my other hand, I'll take out one of those sun rods and just sort of activate it and then throw it towards the statue so that it lands on the floor somewhere there.
All right. Wow, that is insane, dude. 100 feet, Warbucks. That is insane.
Yeah.
All right, so...
Hey, Dave, I got to warn you for a second. We're having some electrical storm right now, so if I lose power, we might go out, so...
Oh, no problem. Well, I hope everything's okay.
We're just having a storm right
where are you at, actually, Feanor, before you throw the sunrod? You crack it and throw it?
Well, pretty much where I'm standing at.
Okay, and you're going to throw it towards the statue, then? Yeah,
I'm sort of down on one knee, like an arrow and bow in one hand, and just getting that stuff out of my backpack or wherever I keep it, and then I'll crack it and throw it.
So you're breaking out the grenade, you're pulling the pin, you're breaking it, shaking it, and throwing it.
Pretty much.
All right. So about where do you want to throw it? What square?
Well, just to the foot of the statue, pretty much, if possible. I'm not sure how far that is.
Front left or front right of the statue? No, I'm not going to make you roll.
Say front right. I mean, it doesn't really
matter, does it? So as you throw that, you break it and throw it. It lights everything up. You can see that there are several kobolds in this room, and you hear one say, "Ooh, bright light!" we have intruders. They're kind of looking around. So I'm going to give everyone.
It is a glow stick.
One. Yeah, I even put a glow stick down on the ground for you. Tell me that ain't awesome. So I'm going to give everyone one free action, not one free round, but one free action because you guys have the elements of surprise. And holy shit, that is bright, is it not? Holy crap. Alright, so now everybody can see. Everybody can see on the map now, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Right.
Does that include standard actions?
You get one action. You can have
Can I also move or no?
That would be one action. Moving would be one action. A minor would be one action. A standard action would be one action. It's one action, not one round worth of actions. So
okay.
All right. So if you're moving through this rubble, that will be 2 squares per square. It's going to consume 2 movements for every square that you move through. So, all right. So let's go ahead, and I want you guys to roll initiative right now. Let's throw it in the tracker for you guys.
Wow.
So target your token, and just hit the button.
Also, my 3 rounds are going to be an Eldritch Bolt at that one.
What?
You know my free action? I'm throwing an Eldritch Bolt at him.
Give me 1 second. Alright, so the first up is Zantag. What are you doing, Zantag? All of a sudden, you just see this room just light up, just poof, like daylight. You hear fire in the hole, you see the elf throw something, and all of a sudden, it lights up and boom, everything is lit up.
And it looks like I myself have blinded myself. That's why my initiative roll was so crappy.
You were surprised.
Same thing with me.
Alright, so Zantag, what are you doing? Are you moving? Are you doing whatever? You get 1 free action, not 1 round worth, but like I said, just one action. You guys have the elements of surprise.
I'm going to have the wolf move up here. And then move up there next to him. If that's possible.
Alright. So you're wanting to move up 2, right? I see that you moved 2 spaces.
Yeah, both me and the wolf.
Correct. Yeah, you can both move up that way. Yep. You can both move. If you want to stop there, that's your turn.
Oh, just a rule question. Can we pass each other if we're in the same square?
You can pass through each other, correct. Yes, you just cannot stop in the same square.
Okay.
All right. So is that it, Zantag, or is that all you're moving up, just 10 feet?
Actually, I'm going to move the wolf a little up more.
Okay, so the wolf has how much movement? 8?
8.
8. So
that would be 8. That would be total 8 because of the 2 per. Very good. All right, next up is Eco. What are you doing?
Quick question.
That kobold's getting an Eldritch Bolt.
Okay, 1 second there, Eco. Yes, Zantag.
Was from that short rest. Did you say that we were going back to full health?
Everybody's back at full health, full hit points, full everything. It's like you guys took a long rest. Seeing that this is a one-shot, and there's 3 encounters back to back to back, we'll just reset everything, every encounter.
Okay.
Because you guys only get to play the 1 game, so it's not fair to do a skill challenge for a rest and everything else. So you guys just basically are just recharged after every fight. Okay, you're going to need it anyway, so yeah, but you're back at full life. Alright, so you are attacking Mr.
So
Eco.
he gets partial cover thanks to the stash.
He is going to get, probably you're not going to be able to fire upon him because you have this corner here blocking your sight, and then you have this corner here as well. So you can't even see that kobold there technically because of where you're at. So yeah,
really?
Yeah. I mean, you're.
Is the statue's base 5 feet up?
The statue is a huge statue. The ceiling is 15 feet high as well. So that is a large dwarven statue.
I know the the statue, but I'm just talking about the base of the statue. That corner there. Is that at least 5 feet up?
It's probably about a good 4 to 5 feet, yeah. And the kobolds, they're
small,
pretty short creatures,
so I can't see it.
You might be able to see maybe like a spear poking up. That's if they had a spear, but you see nothing. So I'm gonna make a call and say no, you can't see that guy. There's too many obstacles in the way.
Then I'm just gonna move here.
Okay. All right. So Warnerve, what is your free move this turn for your elements of surprise?
His, aura, defender aura.
Okay, that is yours. So you can go ahead and activate it. Feanor, what are you doing, Mr. Bombardier?
Isn't the cleric before me? He has a 14.
He didn't roll before you changed the turn order, though.
Ah, yeah. So there you go. That doesn't matter. So, all right. What are you doing there, Driftston? We'll come back to Feanor real quick. So, what are you doing real quick, Sandman?
I'm just going to move forward.
All right. How are you liking the cleric?
I like the cleric.
Yeah, I like the cleric too, man. I think the cleric's probably my favorite class in Essentials. Probably the cleric and the paladin are.
I like my tank.
Yeah, I do like the slayer too. I will definitely say that.
Druid.
So.
And that's all I can move.
All right. The druid's much different than standard 4th edition. They redid the druid for Essentials because they did a lot of a lot of shape shifting in regular 4th. So, all right. So we're back up to Feanor. Sorry about that. Sorry, I put the turn order a little bit too quick on you guys.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Okay, I'll just move to the left as far as I can get, pretty much.
Okay, so you have a pretty good movement. I think 7.
Yeah, 7. Yeah.
So it'll cost you 2 here, 2 there. Basically, you can get to about right here.
Oh, is that? Oh, does the square I'm standing in?
No.
Does that cost me movement?
No, because you're. I didn't know you were gonna move all the way over to the left. So you're going over.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah,
where you're
as
at.
far as I can get.
Yeah, that's fine.
As far as I can get, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm not counting the square that you're in. So.
I'll tell to the others, like, back me up, guys, please.
Okay.
I don't want to be standing here in the open.
Now, as you were making your way to the left.
Wouldn't I be before Zane tag thanks to the being the same initiative in the plus bonus? I'm just curious about how initiative rules if you're both the same.
It just whoever wants to go first. That's the way I do it. There's really no technical way of doing it. It's just whoever. That's just the way it was in the turn order. So, I mean, if you and Eco want to work it out on who wants to go first, that's I don't care. You can do whatever you want to do.
I don't care either way either.
Yeah. So as you get to this, before you move back over, Feanor, you notice that as you're looking down the hall, you can see quite a few kobolds that appear to be, they're kind of gathering, they have their hands over their eyes, and you can see that the light definitely affected them. That's why you guys got surprised. But you're able to see at least 3 kobolds as you're making your way to your final stopping point.
Can I make out something special? Like, is one of them dressed in some sort of sorceress or I don't know, some sort of gear that differs from the others in a significant way?
I'll say that yeah, you saw some robes on one of them as you've got a pretty good perception. So yeah, you were able to determine that one possibly could be wielding magic. You also seen one carrying a shield as well.
Is that the one at the furthest at the back, the sorcerer one?
Yes.
Okay, I'll shout a warning to the group. Guys, sorcerer up ahead, or witch master, or whatever
that would be a free action, but you don't have a free action because you used your
right. Right.
Yep.
Okay.
No problem. All right, Rack, you're up now. What are you doing? Hey,
Okay,
nice Rack. Sorry.
I'm just gonna be moving just forward 3 because that's actually 1, 2, 3, 5.
Hey, nice Rack.
Moving here.
Okay.
And that would be my.
All right, sounds good. So we are back up to the top of the turn order.
Did Warner go?
I think he's still here. You still here, Huck? Yeah, Huck's still here. He's still on the channel.
He activated his aura.
Yeah. So
I didn't.
we've been playing for a couple hours already, so I've only got about 2 hours left. So we're gonna speed this up a little bit, and we're gonna take a 5-minute break real quick, guys.
Okay.